back. Oh. Okay. Yeah, we got green light. Green light. Okay. Oh, that's not going to show up on YouTube very well. Oh, darn. That's too bad. Okay. Might have to manually stitch this one together. Any vice. Okay. Technical glitch. We're good. It's not too bad. Happens. Let's bring the music back. Well, anyways, yeah. Just probably clean up this code now that this anyways. It's just not so good. Anyways, we also got from prim here. So that should probably... There's a lot of overlap in the different cases that we're handling here. I think what we could do to clean this up, we might actually benefit a little bit from doing it this way. I'm just going to comment this stuff out. Probably going to throw things off. Let's just do from prim like this. I have from primitive to either clear and now in the case where we still need to pattern match on prim and get the array type here. I might be able to clean this up too, but let's just go with it for now. And this will take the pattern matching we're doing in the function arguments. Trying to do what we were doing already before, but just in one place. Otherwise, we have the bytes in P's case, which even look like that. And what other case do we have? If it's not an array at all, it's something else. I think we just called it invalid command. Right? We might not even need to do notation here, actually. This might still be here. That's good. That's fine. And then we could just go with what we had before down here. I'm still going to leave everything in. Those aren't so bad, maybe. But this looks kind of like what we had before, just brought into a case statement. Okay. Let's look at it this way too. What are the common elements of this function that we can abstract out? Parse set, parse get, parse delete. The only thing they differ in is a case where we actually have the string as the first element. The empty list case and the other case are both the same. I'm just gonna call it foo bar because I don't really know what to call it yet. Let's see if this helps illuminate what it should be. Never doubt the power of small functions. So my mom always said. Okay, so regardless of whether parsing set, get, or delete, if we have the empty case, we get left, we get to few. Other case. I'm just rewriting everything again, aren't I? Anything else? Yeah. So we want a way to tell this function, like parse the get, parse the set arguments, or parse the delete arguments. Maybe that's not so bad. That would be a second. Right, well, actually, let's see. Let's try this. Get rid of that. We'll uncomment out our parse set, delete, and get functions. So that we can check something here. So either has an applicative instance. Monad, which we know. It's also a semi-group. This means we combine together either's. Foldable. Oh, too interesting. Traversable. Could be traverse. This sort of fits, possibly what I'm looking for. So a lot of our functions look kind of like this, where they take in the list of primitives. This will be a list of prim here. And our FB would be our return type, the either. Since either is also an applicable. That means we take a traversable of primitives. And so that could be the list is traversable. Primitives, and we return on either a list of primitives. Oh, sorry. Oh, that'd be list of commands. Might not be quite what we're looking for. Right, because we transform this into B into commands, and this would return back like an either commands, but we only want one. Fold. So fold takes. Oh, let me change back to my arrow here. Fold. So we can take our foldable. Give you our list. Some command. What else do we have? Do we have alternative? Basically, if we tried, to do traverse. See, we'd only give it one function though, right? And that would be like trying to parse a bunch of gets in this list. So I don't think that's the one we want. What I really want to be able to say is basically what we're saying here. Get the arguments and apply a constructor over it. So what if I pass the constructor as the first argument and yeah, something like this. Well, that would can't do variadic arguments, can it? No. I think we're kind of stuck with that. I just don't like the repeated stuff. Hopefully I didn't. Oh, we're good. Okay. Yeah, we can't really get variadic arguments either. Alright, well, I'm going to leave it for now. Let's move on to something more interesting then. We can't really clean that up. Well, we should clean up the error messages because hoo-ha is no good. Arguments. Get command. And not enough arguments. It's not my favorite, but I need to sit on that one a little bit. I'm sure it'll come to me as soon as I'm like off stream. So let's just commit that, what we've got so far. The tests. Just want to make sure they still run. Get a failure. Aha. Just because we changed the string, of course. We'll just rebase that and forget it ever happened. Let's change you. And squash that down. Oh, fine. Stitch. Good. He didn't see it. Snatches. Right. Those look good to push, so we'll push those up and move on. Maybe we should try next adding our command parser to the socket in our handler and seeing if we can't get it to parse commands off the socket that the client sends us, and just get it in action. So this should be pretty fun. Rosby in our server. Let's see our handler function here. Yeah, this is where we get the input. So before sending all, we will basically get the command by parsing it. We'll hold it for a moment. So we'll probably need to import our protocol stuff. And so we'll go, first we have to do parser. And we got a run parser and all that, right? We could probably give ourselves a little helper function actually to make that happen. So we don't have to run, we don't have to import autoparsec into our module. It really shouldn't know about it anyway. That's going to be byte string. Primitive. And that'll basically be one parser. The other one. The autoparsec one. Oof. Simple enough. So parse. What is going on here? Oh, we have stuff imported explicitly from it. P.parse is probably right? Okay. Good. So it wants us to give it a function that takes a byte string, which was all 0. We forgot to give an argument to parse, which is a print parser. That's better. And we got to go from a result primitive to a primitive, which probably means we actually want to return something here, because the result, I believe, has two cases. Either we parsed it or we didn't. So now that should be the result. Yep. P.item result. Good. Now, we run our parser on our inputs. We'll just echo the show instance for that back out. I think we have one for that. Might not. What is on here? Oh, well, that makes sense. So we gotta pack that up into a byte string. Yeah. Do we import that here? B? Yeah. Wrong pack. The 8.pack. That's the right one. Okay, cool. Let's try to build and run it, see what happens. I'll stop the tests here. Let's see the local host. 1993. Oh, of course it's not actually. A sec. Rosby XC. That should be the one. Ah. Build reading. Okay, so we got an error back. So if we try... how did it go? First is an array. That should be... star. 3, let's try a set command. 3 elements. /n/n. Then we should have stir 3 set stir 3 not quite. We're probably going to have to write our own client library to get this out, aren't we? That's okay. At least it's you know, actually running the parser and stuff. We can see that with the error message. That's pretty good. Let's just make sure that we can say get a different error message by sending it something that shouldn't work, which is how do we do strings again? Dollar. It starts with the dollar. That's right. $3. Boo. Okay. Arrays. Parse with asterisk, like a number. And numbers should just go like this. Hey, that's something. Yeah, we'll probably end up having to write our own client library, because it's kind of hard to input /r/n's in the middle of strings when you're just using netcat. I wonder if there's like maybe we could probably write some golden tests for the serializer where we could just put these inputs like line by line and just have the test kind of read the file, try and parse a bunch of them, and like have the good file and then try to read the bad file, make sure it doesn't get any successful parses and only gets bad parses and errors that we expect. Those are called like golden tests, and that might work really well here for that. So, yeah. And then eventually, so we're just receiving everything into a line here, into input, and parsing it directly, which is going to be ultimately a no-go for this. We're gonna have to run the parser so that it streams the input. And I believe autoparsec has a function that we were mentioning that we could do that with, where it'll feed the input from this action, receive, and feed the data it gets into the parser as it comes out. And then we'll exploit laziness from the handler here so that for parsing the input and streaming the data into the data store once we get to that part. But for now, we're going to just eagerly read everything in, and we're going to evaluate it by calling show on our command here and force it out. So that's a little hint. What's coming? What's coming? Right. Golden tests. How do we raid? Let's see. So under data, serializer. Good. Right. I hope that the line ending encoding in my text editor here is going to put CR and LFs between each line and not just carriage return. Then maybe there's an Emacs mode to do that so we can see those characters. Right, so we could put, so this would be a test file for all good inputs. We're going to need some way of parsing this input file as well. Right, so for example, for a string, should be like that. And then maybe under here, we have our expectation. That. And somebody tries to say 4 and only gives us 3 bytes. Should get a left. Something like that is kind of what I'm going for. I wonder if there's like a library. Let's do some Googling around. Tasty Golden, okay. H-Spec Golden, that's good. Promising. Cool. So in this library, we're gonna write out our examples in Haskell, and this will check against our golden outputs. Is that right? I'm not sure. So the first parameter D. Let me just turn on the music here. Sometimes I don't like coding with music. It's true. Breaks my concentration. Okay, so the first parameter to default golden is the file name. Always have a unique name for your file. Okay. Pretty, write to file, read from file, test as new. Okay. Not entirely sure how this is going to work, but it sounds like we're going to be able to generate the golden tests for us. Let's give it a shot. H spec dash golden. Hopefully it's in stackage. Let's just check that. Okay. Looks to be, and I think it's in our LTS. We're a fairly new one. So that should be good. Okay, cool. Might not even need that. Yeah, kill it. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, just get rid of it. Alright, whatever. What's this? Yeah, that's good. Oh, the main changes in server. So basically we added run parser to the handler. Serialization parser. Cool. Let's go back to package. H spec dash golden. That's a good, this might be a really good library, because a great idea with golden tests is like, yeah, you can write them out manually if you want to, but it's also a great idea to generate them. So you run your function. Hopefully, I think this is probably what it's going to do. We run our function on some inputs and to generate examples, and then we use those as the golden tests. So then when we write and run them, it'll check them up against the good output. Okay. It's a little unclear how it's going to work, so we're just going to get it going and try it out. So let's build that. Well, maybe under test spec. Love. Serial. We can write them out like that. Okay, so we did install. I think so. Everything looks good there. Okay, what do we got to do? H spec golden. Okay, so the first parameter of default golden is the file name, supposedly with the correct outputs. what that means yet. Okay, so let's get the kind of example going and see what happens. Okay. So let output equals show myfunc params. Okay. Let's do that. Not myfunc, but it's going to be one parser. One parser. What do they got for params? Just I don't like that. What is params? I don't think I have anything called params in scope. That can't be right. We'll have to import that. And output, apparently. There's a test hspec.golden. Well, let's try that. I don't know how that's supposed to work. I expect an error. Let's get some tunes back. Okay, what do we get? Yeah, exactly. Let's go. Okay. So I guess we're supposed to create these params. So let's try it. Let's output. I'm not quite getting it, but okay. Maybe it should be like this. Let's see. Let's fix a string there. Is that like the first time execution, golden file created. Really? That's everything. Where did they create the data? Golden, I guess? Okay. And so if we run that again. Okay, so the gold in the actual output hasn't changed. I guess the idea is that the serial, if I change this somehow, I have to do something weird. -1. We should get a failed test. That's weird. So I don't think it's that. Go back to that test. All right, so output should be a string of whatever run parser returns. Run parser returns either string or primitive. This default golden thing. That's kind of the weird thing here. The documentation on this is not the greatest, so string to string will go to string. Let's check the source. Sometimes you just gotta read the code. Okay. Run golden. Interesting. It's not even documented. Maybe it doesn't need to be. Let's see. Golden result. Default golden. Okay. Sounds like what we want in our test file is to run golden, and then we need a different thing for this. Looks like it generates the golden. And then what's in the golden return of the word parser? So it's got string 3 foo in there. And if we ever change anything, that's what we want. And then if we run tests, here with this. So what I'm kind of expecting is that if I generate the good known outputs, and then when I run my tests on those inputs, I check that they still output the correct outputs. What I'm not getting is how this file generator thing is working here. If I go mess up string parser and do something silly, it's not failing the test? Or is this totally should totally fail? again. I don't know, H-spec golden. Okay, so we ran that. Replacing file. So we check that out. There's no actual file. It's just that silly golden file we had from before. Let's just completely destroy that. Does not exist. Okay. So the output from our function. Okay, let's try this again. Spec. Right. Then, in my golden test. And actual output.
Violet light colors my bed. Digital ghosts traverse the highways in my head. Organic shell I ever share. I see the world in neon red. Like human hues that I have led. Sanguine scarlet.
Maybe that's what we got wrong. That's probably going to be playing about template Haskell quotes. Just go ahead and add that. And we'll give it a shot again. Let's test. So that'll be the first time it's run. It should generate the file.
Whether by wire or spinning land, there is no techno evolution
Oops.
for the dead. Psychotic dreams arise in dread.
I'll show that.
I see the world in neon red. The mind and the spirit amplified. Running out on the edge, running out on the edge. To break every limit, maximize. Running out on the edge, running out on the edge.
Okay. Golden file created. What did we put in there? Maybe this is the way. Maybe we got it. Oh, look at that. Okay. Okay. That seems a little bit better. It's not exactly what we wanted, but and then if we check the golden, okay. Excellent. Okay. I think we got this. Just Gotta make sure that I have this right. And so if we want to update the golden tests, so should we generate those files? And hopefully when we run this, not quite, but I think we're getting the hang of this. Aha, yes. Okay, cool. So how do we put those files? I thought that updated the files. Start test. Okay, boom, path created. Actually changed. Okay. And now if I change it, I feel a little more confident that we should get an error this time. Yeah, one failure as expected. Excellent. Okay, and if we fix that, it should go back to being green again. And then if we're good to go on this, that means there's an easy way for us to make a bunch of these examples, and it'll generate all the files for us for the all the golden tests for the serializer. Cool, cool. And then we'll talk about maybe moving on to figuring out getting the handler to how we're going to do handle that, testing that part. Okay. So let's get a list of examples. Six. Let's get an example for numbers. A big number. And arrays. Should 4 of these mashed together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Control that monad. That's where foreign comes from. And something examples. Oh, oops. What did I do here? So, what was I doing? I was trying to basically run iterate over our good examples and run our default golden function. I might have just gotten something a little off there. I really don't like the GHC ID is ignoring this file. That's no good. Oh, okay, let's go first. Sorry, I just got things in the wrong order. That's what I thought. Just wanted to make sure. Booyah. No, it's still ah, there's no mode on instance for golden? Oh no, a party of 4. I'm getting raided. Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome to the stream. I'm just hacking around on building a key value data store in Haskell from scratch, mostly for learning, to kick the tires on Haskell and build software, but you know, stuff. Hey, Meetamon7, how you doing? Yeah. So I'm just checking out this cool library called HSpec Golden to get some golden tests for a serializer in the protocol, and I'm just realizing that golden doesn't have a monad instance, so I can't use 4m here. default, take the default golden. Just check that out quickly. Pulled up here. Cheer optical, yeah. So we haven't done the store part yet. We're just getting kind of the scaffolding up around it. But it's basically going to be an in-memory data store. And I've been doing a bit of research on it. And I think we're going to go with a B+ tree with probably a page-based allocator. And my goal with the project is to keep the store itself like in a fixed amount of memory. And hopefully we could do that in Haskell. So HSpec Golden is this library I'm just checking out. I wanted to be able to do some golden tests for the serializer part of the protocol. We just have a bunch of examples of like good tests, known golden inputs, and the test will generate the known golden inputs and the actuals and verify that they match when you run the tests. So the thing I'm running into right now is just getting more than one example going. It's not a very big library, but yeah. Okie dokie. Thank you. Turn that down a bit now. Let me know if that's better. Right, so I find golden tests are pretty good when you're writing parsers and serializers and deserializers. Just a convenient way to you can keep them in your repository, keep the golden ones up to date, and just test against those. And if your code changes and you can't deserialize it anymore, you're working in that part of the code, then it'll check the examples against the actuals that it did get, against the good known golden things that it should be able to parse, and tell you if you've messed something up. Yeah, so anyways, I was just looking for a quick, convenient way to iterate over our list of examples in our test and generate a bunch of goldens from that. Golden is what's returned by run golden, which is not a monad, so not exactly what we want here. I assume I should be able to do the function there, but apparently that's wrong. Let me just get that test here. So I'm using GHC IDE, which works for the most part really well. For some reason, it's not reading my test file, my test directory. Which is no good, so it's slowing things down a little bit here. So that's our whole. A T0 of byte string. I don't know what T0 should be. See you later, Chiroptical. Thanks for dropping by. And yes, I appreciate all follows. Don't have a huge audience yet, so every little bit counts. Thanks for the follows, Chiroptical, by the way, and Fuzzy Lemma. Nice to see you out. Totally cool. Like Isovector sometimes comes by. It's totally cool to shout out style suggestions, or if you have any suggestions for the code, feel free. It's totally cool. Thanks, Masidu. Nice to see you, by the way. So yeah, if you don't know, I'm sometimes on the FP Slack, the FP chat on Slack, as well as on Zulip. So if you want to chat about Rosby or databases or Haskell, give me a shout. So again, building a key value data store, this is not something I've never built databases a whole lot, other than like little simple toy ones. So this is a much learning experience for me as it is for you. Alright, so basically trying to get these examples to get generated. I need to loop over my good examples and run this function. I don't really care about the results. And it wants a t0 of something, but it doesn't say when golden is not that. So this has the wrong type, so I might need to do something about that. Yeah. And what's a byte string? 2 byte string. Why does it want a byte string? I guess because Golden's trying to do this all at once, we should probably do this at a higher level and put all of our examples up here and then generate the test cases for each of these. Pull those over a bit. I don't have a completion, thank you very much. It parses. And then, let's pull that up, get rid of that. In fact, just get rid of that whole thing. Probably don't need that. God, how I wish JHC IDE would work on this darn file. Dang you. I feel like I'm writing test code in JavaScript when it's like this. Okay, what did I do wrong? Yeah. String. Okay, because you expect byte string. Fair enough. That's because we use ++ over here, so it's inferring your strings. Can we just convert those and still maintain everything? Oops. Import that, so I'm going to import that. For a data.byte string. Actually, one for a qualifier, of course. Alright, and it's b dot I want to say. I always forget because I have a memory like a goldfish sometimes. Especially late at night after a busy couple of days. Let me tell you. On Tuesday night, is when I usually stream, and I was literally right here. getting ready to set up. And I hear my kids laughing out in the streets and running around. So I figure, oh, it's raining. They're probably out dancing in the rain. And I go up to check on, like, see what's going on. Because it's cute when kids are running in the rain enjoying themselves. And I just look and I just know. Because it just starts coming down. And I ran to the basement and I started picking stuff off the floor. And sure enough, within like 5 minutes, barely. Yeah, unpack. Unpack. So what is pack? And this is for B. Car 8. Yeah. Anyways, and we just got flooded. Like the whole thing. And it only rose about like 4 inches, maybe 5 at most at some of the lower parts. So we didn't really lose anything, but freaked my little kid right out. He was just like, ah. Yeah, so pack you up. Let's have a good time. Run them tests. So when the golden test will run for the first time, it'll say like this is the first run, so we're going to generate the actuals and the goldens for you. And that's because I didn't add it as a dependency to the tests. Byte string. Or 8. No, I think it's just a cuckoo. So yeah, I'm streaming now. We got everything cleaned up after a couple of days of work. Really only like, well, a couple of days, yeah. And then everything was good. Oh, what did I do? I have a function here. Oops. Yeah, see, this is the problem. You don't have your IDE constantly running. Let's see. It's having a problem with this line here because I'm expecting a function, which is what that should be, a golden string, to a spec m. You can see it's sort of trying. It's probably like, you write terrible code. Don't. Okay, there we go. That's something at least. Cool. That's what I wanted, so let's see here. What had happened? See, golden actuals do not match. That might be my mistake. So we can check what it generated in the files for the golden and actuals by going to golden here. Maybe we need to regenerate those, so we should probably... It supposedly gives you a command that lets you do this. A CLI called hgold. And you know what? It might be that yeah, this might be the problem here. So it needs a name to store the the things in. Let's make this. You can't just put the example in there as a string because that might not be a valid file name. What to do? Well, we could give them, make these tuples. And give it like an ID and a input. It'll be kind of tedious maintaining these tests, but hopefully we won't have to all that often. Bang. Press C. D. And E. Okay, this becomes pull that out. Okay. Let's just completely blow away that directory. Let's start clean. Alright. So, that's what you get. It should be the first time you first generate the golden things. So the first execution, it is going to, if everything matches, it's going to write these out to example files. And now we should see in the golden directory what I mean a little bit more. So each of these directories is for each of the tests we generated. Parser A, parser B, parser C. This is the actual, what it got when it ran the function. And this is the golden input, what it's trying to match against. And so we generate that from examples on a known good output. And if we're changing the function, say we're changing the serializer, and we're changing the way the protocol works at this layer, then we have to update the golden files, and that's supposedly what the CLI will do. So you would change the code, and once you got it to a good state with your other tests, then you're good to go with a new goldens set. Then you update the goldens, golden masters, I guess, I don't know, and rerun the test, and then it should rerun the test. And you can check those into your source control as well. And then, yeah, then you have new goldens to test against. Okay, so that's good. So we'll do that right now, actually, now that we have it all well and done. So commit that. I think all of those are good. Yeah. I don't need a file. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm comfortable with that. That's good. Okay. That is some golden tests. Serialize. Okay, cool. So let's try the server again. Let's just build it to be the latest. And we're good. And if we let netcat to localhost 1993, we should be able to input one of our golden tests, say. Which I remember netcat is not going to be too happy with this, because we're not going to be able to put those control line feeds in. But if I can't be basically, maybe in the actuals, let's serialize the examples there, and we can just echo that into netcat to just test it out. Let's see how that goes. Actual. No, that's the results, yeah. Let's try it this way. Let's see if my Unix foo still works. And my foo is failing. Because I have to escape that. $3 for string of length 3. Span. And a string of length 3. I don't know if I need XOps. That's just super fun. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Failed reduce satisfied. Okay. Maybe that's what we'll do next week on the stream, is we'll start writing a client library so we can start interacting with this a little bit easier. Or I'll mess around with this and figure this out. But that's all I got for tonight, friends. Let's just make sure we got nothing checked in. Are we good? So let's push off the latest code. Thanks for tuning into the stream. Thanks for the follows. I also archive my videos to YouTube, so if you want to catch up later, subscribe to my channel there, or if you want to share it, that's probably best to send people to the YouTube channel. That's in my profile for the video as well. So thanks again for coming out, and again, you can find me on the FP chat Slack, also on the Zulip server, and on Twitter as well. Have a good one, folks, and keep hacking in Haskell. Peace.